Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a little abstract mini landscape, and I'm using Archer's paper that is the fine grain, so it's almost totally flat, very little of any kind of structure on it. So I'm starting with wetting the paper, and then we will make a little area where we will call the sky or the background. I'm going in with some blue colors. I'm blending and using what's in my palette already. And we are going to make it bluish as a background, and then we'll drip in some brown and greens to make some trees far away. Just dripping in color and water and let it move. Don't want to stress the color. Kind of want it to work and make its thing. In the beginning of my watercolor days, I was always a bit stressed because I thought the paper would dry or the paint would go the wrong directions and things like that. Nowadays I'm a bit more relaxed and like to play and leave the color to have its own life. Just tilting the paper so that the color can move around and get even. Doing the same with the lower part of the paper, wetting it, and at the moment I don't touch the blue part. I'm leaving a little bit of gap. And then I will put in a color that is still a bit blue grayish but a little bit more green in it. I want this to be kind of a bit of water, so we can have some reflections in it from the trees I will put in later. The watercolor always dry a lot more light than it looks on the painting, so don't be afraid to put in some extra dark pigments. And if the paper starts to dry, make sure that the brush with the paint on is drier than the paper. If you don't do that, you will get blooms and it will look a bit funny to have circles on the painting. Going in with a little bit of green too, so hopefully it will give me some trees. Going also in with some browns, that will be kind of some stones. Giving the lake a little bit more bluish color. I mostly use what's on my palette, so that's why I don't give you the exact color names. It's not my goal when I paint to get special colors or go with a certain brand or so. I'm concentrating of having fun. It's not nice to use good quality papers and brands with really nice pigmented colors, but if you don't have it, use what you have and play. The most important is that you actually do something and not just look at tutorials. You won't learn until you start practicing. And I will be back with a new recording soon where I will show you how to make your own sketchbook. It's also important to have a sketchbook that you really use. Sometimes people buy sketchbooks and then they think, no, they are too nice, or I don't want to use this paper because I'm not good enough to paint. And then the sketchbook will be lying on a shelf somewhere, and the sketching won't be done. So we will do a simple sketchbook that you really can afford or feel that you can use. Still beautiful, but you will use it. I have put on some salt. I'm using mostly rock salt, some bigger pieces, but I have also a few table salt pieces that I have spread. Mostly to give some textures on the shore, kind of like big stones and stones on the part of the lake that is near the shore. Putting in some more color of green so the trees will look a bit more dark. Here I'm putting a little bit of white gouache just to make some waves in the water. Then I will soak up a little bit of the water that is piling and makes big puddles on the right side. And then this will be left to dry. It's important when you use salt that the painting is allowed to dry naturally and not with any hair dryer or heat gun. You get the best result when you leaving it to dry naturally. And let it dry a few minutes before you put on the salt. If it's too dry or too wet, the salt won't work perfectly. So when it's kind of a bit shiny, but not so wet that you have these puddles, it was a little bit drier in the middle, so that's why I put on the salt. So it has dried, and it's time to go in with a fine liner and give the trees some branches and stems, and line out the stones. I will probably also put in some birds. I'm using 01, and I also using a 005, depending on where I put the lines. And it's totally all right to go in with a pen and make kind of lines or even do that before you paint if you feel that it's easier to paint when you have the lines already done. There is nothing that is wrong or not allowed. Most important that you do it and have fun. Don't think so much about the result. So I hope you give this a try and have a relaxing moment with your colors. I will for sure be back soon again with some more painting. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the mail or write them down below in the description box, and I will try to answer as many as I can. So have fun, enjoy, and until next time, bye bye from Sweden.